Okay, now let's talk about domain authority. What is it? Why does it matter? And how does Google kind of figure out what sites are more reputable and deserve to be ranked higher than other sites? And what can small businesses do about that?
Yeah, so domain authority is basically a metric that was developed by Moz and now SEMrush and Ahrefs and all these sites kind of have their own. And what it is
These
it's
are
a
SEO tools, by the way. These are Moz,
yeah,
SEMrush, Ahrefs are tools that tell us how our site's doing.
yeah, they're really helpful tools. I don't think you need all three. You could probably pick one and just go with that. We use Ahrefs mostly at Bold. But basically, domain authority is just a proxy for trustworthiness. It's a quantification of how these tools are interpreting how Google views you. And really, the way that it is calculated is it's how reputable are you in your niche or in your space. And so it's going to be a combination of things like the Google business profile stuff we talked about. It's going to be, do you have backlinks to your website? So other sites that are reputable citing you as a source. And then, are you consistently putting out content that is valuable, truly valuable to the end user and answers the questions they might be asking? And so if you do those things consistently over time, you're going to see this number creep up. And okay, well, why is that valuable? The higher the number is, the more quickly you're going to rank new pages and for new keywords and for valuable keywords, right? So the more money there is to be made on a search term roofer in Atlanta, that's going to be more competitive than, some really low ticket service, where a roof might be $40,000, $50,000. So it's valuable to get those searches. So the higher your domain authority, the more you do this stuff consistently over time, that's where you're gonna see that domain authority go up, and then the quality of your traffic is most likely going to go up as a result of that.
And here's an example with how valuable keywords are. The cost per click here of the keyword plumbers in Austin, Texas is $29.19. They're paying almost $30 for every single click in Austin, Texas for the word plumber. That's pretty expensive.
Crazy. Yeah, and so if you scale that over multiple keywords, like your organic traffic could quickly get into the thousands or tens of thousands or more in pay-per-click value, meaning like you don't actually have to pay that in pay-per-clicks because you're getting them organically. And you can look on the right side of this page, $25,000 a month worth of traffic, Reliant Plumbing is getting. I mean, that's 300 and something $1,000 a year they're not spending on pay-per-click. It's pretty good.
Okay, so here's a question. So I guess is this Ahrefs? Is that what this tool is right here?
Yeah.
So this is one of the tools that tells us basically who's ranking and why and what their domain ranking, domain authority is. So if you Google plumbers in Austin, or if you went in your town and said self-storage in Athens, Georgia, you can see the rankings, you can see what everybody's domain authority is, you can see how many backlinks they have, and you can see the traffic that they're getting. Reliant Plumbing is getting 870 visits a month, $25,000 worth of free traffic. What's interesting here, Barrett, is that their domain ranking, their domain authority is 28. It's lower than Affordable Plumbing's. Why are they ranking higher, even though their authority is a little bit lower?
So their page authority, you can see UR is kind of like a domain authority for that specific page.
Okay.
They are, there's a few reasons why I think they're ranking higher. One, that could be it. But if you look at Reliant Plumbing, it looks like that's their homepage, and they're fully committed to being in Austin, San Antonio, and Dallas, where this one below is, that's a, whatever the company name is, stanzac.com, Austin Plumbing Services. So that tells me that's not their homepage. Our homepage is always going to be a little bit more
that's a secondary
powerful
page.
Yeah, and again, this is where like the nuance of this stuff can get really kind of complex, but I think it's the way you should think about SEO at scales. Like Reliant Plumbing is just like they're trying to own this geographical area, so they're probably going to do better when someone's searching in that area. It doesn't mean, I mean, Affordable Plumbing's doing pretty well. They're getting, almost $19,000 a month worth of traffic. So you're splitting hairs a little bit. And again, this could change day to day. So it's not, we're getting a snapshot in time here. So there could be a few other reasons, like maybe this page is newer or something like that. But, they're both getting tons of value, and they're both kind of, have similar metrics, I think.
Yep. Somebody asked how do they find out their domain authority? You can Google backlink checker for Ahrefs. I'm gonna show a link to that eventually here. So yeah, right here. So if you go to ahrefs.com/backlink-checker, or if you search free backlink checker, you can see it. I spend a ton of time here. I look at my competitors on here. I don't even have the paid version. I'm not even logged into Bold SEO's paid version of this. And I can learn a ton about my competitors, what links they have. It shows the top 10 links that our competitors have and just how important this stuff is. So I spend a lot of time on here. That's the answer to that question. Let's talk about just how to improve it, how backlinks matter, and Google's view on this, Barrett.
Yeah, so backlinks are basically just other sites with a hyperlink back to your site. And what that does is that is the algorithmic way of this site saying, hey, we like that site. We're citing them as a source. We trust their information. So the more that you have, the more trustworthy you're perceived to be. And then the better those sites are that are linking to you, that's even better. So, it starts to compound. And then the more content you put out into the world, people start citing you as a source when they see the content, or they want to link to you because it helps their content. And so what this does is it creates a web of passing authority back and forth to one another. And then Google says, okay, well, all these sites are trusting this site. That's a strong signal. They crawl your site with their algorithms. They see you have all these keywords in the right spot, and that's kind of how it all comes together. And backlinks are a really important piece. And so this graph I really like. And so just to explain this quickly, a referring domain is a unique backlink. So you can have multiple backlinks from one site, but the real value is having unique backlinks, meaning like site A, B, C, D, E, F, not just 10 from site A. And so you can see here, this is web traffic versus referring domains this is 1 billion web pages. So for stats people, that's a pretty good sample size. And
there is a direct correlation between the amount of backlinks, the amount of websites that link to a website, and search ranking.
And how well you're going to do, right? You're going to get that $25,000 that, Reliant Plumbing's getting, but with the more links that you get. So that's the value of it. And yeah, that's how it works. So more is better. More quality is also very important as well. So,
so we have two really good questions here. How do we set up backlinks, which we're going to talk about, some scrappy ways to do that. And then what has more value, backlinks from top domains in your industry or backlinks from top domains even in other industries? This is there's a lot of nuance to that. A government domain in your town will be an amazing backlink to get if you can sponsor a local government run athletic event or fundraiser to get a sponsor, to get a link on your local, Athens, Georgia, athensclarkcounty.gov website. That's phenomenal. But also industry magazines, industry blogs, industry podcasts, that stuff really, really is powerful.
Yeah, very.
Okay, so what's a good domain ranking? We get that question all the time. How do I know if mine's good? I just punched it in and it says 3 or it says 0 or it says 20. How do I know what's good?
Yeah, so I think this is a good proxy for that. This is a little bit of nothing here is a hard and fast rule, but if you're a small local business and call it a tier 2, tier 3 size city, I think 10 to 20 you could probably do pretty well. You get into a larger city, where I'm from, Boston, you probably got to be in the 20s to 30s, maybe a little more. Regional 40, and then to win on the finance calculator type keywords, it's like you're going to have to be 50 all the way up to the 70s or 80s, and so it's just more competitive with the more potential searches you can get. So obviously, the more you the smaller the market you're attacking on a specific keyword or set of keywords, right? You can have a little bit less authority in there.
Love it. So there's the tool. What makes a good backlink? Now, the backlinks are measured in the same way that your website is measured. So the domain authority of the link you get. I just did an article for Business Insider. They quoted me and I got them to put 5 of my businesses linked inside the Business Insider article. Business Insider has a domain authority of 90 plus. That's a super high value link for me and all my companies, even though it's not domain specific, like industry specific. But yeah, you're going after reputable websites to link to yours. The more reputable websites link to your website, the more authority you get in the eyes of Google, which is what we're after.
Yeah, and I think the Business Insider example, that's a great backlink. That's on way one end of the spectrum valuable. And then, there's going to be tons of even blogs you've never heard of that have 3, 4, 5, 10,000 visitors a month. And it's hey, those are really good backlinks too. So, you want to always be shooting for the Business Insiders or the Forbes. That's great, but there's a lot of winning downstream too. So, I think sometimes for people who haven't spent a ton of time researching this stuff, they're like, oh, I only want the Business Insiders. And it's like, well, you might be chasing your tail for 5 years to get that. You can do a lot of winning in the meantime.
Yes. So, look, Bold SEO builds links for businesses. That's what we do. You can hire us to build links. Barrett, I think we have an offer for the people here on this webinar, but we're not going to spend a ton of time selling that.
Yeah.
First, I want to talk about how to get backlinks in a scrappy way. I'm a business owner. I'm sitting here in Athens, Georgia. How do I get links? There's a number of ways. Okay. So you can get an article written about you in a local business. Do a little bit of PR for yourself. Hey, something just happened, an interesting thing. Here's some pictures. Would you want to write an article about this? You can do some outreach to local blogs, local newspapers, and even other businesses that run blogs to get a link, an article with some quotes from you, and then a link to your business. Okay. You can offer some reviews and testimonials to people that you use. Like a fence company came here, they put a fence in. I was like, damn, I'd love to cross link and get a link on my website. You get a link on yours. Let's talk about each other's companies in a blog post, how we might work together, how we do certain things. You can donate to a nonprofit. Our family does a lot of giving. We get links to all of our companies from everywhere that we give. That's part of something that they love doing. And it's no harm for them to link to my companies. Sponsor youth teams and events. I found I was doing some SEO research for my brother in Bloomington, Indiana. One of his competitors, his big lawn care competitors in Bloomington, their best ranking link was from bloomington.gov, like a .gov website. It turns out the local company had run a youth team, like a basketball program. Or the local government, the city of Bloomington had run a basketball program, and all the sponsors got links to their business on that website. It was $500 to get that link. Massive value to sponsor. You're not only sponsoring a team giving money, but you are getting a link, a massively valuable link for your business. You can do podcasts. You can go on and talk about business, whatever you're an expert in. Podcasts love linking. You can do guest posts. Over here on the right, you see a guest post that I did about me on sidehustlenation.com. We talk about sweaty startups. And at the bottom of it, it was a lot of links to my companies, which was super valuable for me. Any other ideas, Barrett, on kind of scrappy ways to get links?
I like all those. I mean, I think, if you're in a local meetup group with other business owners, like you said, kind of trading some links is a good scrappy way to do it, especially if everybody's local and you all have local addresses and stuff on your website. I think that creates that locality web. I think all those were really good.
Here's the link that I found for my brother's lawn care company, and actually Bolt Storage ended up sponsoring it and getting that link in the bottom right as well. So these are just some very scrappy ways that you can spend a little bit of money, but get some really valuable links. This is a Bloomington.Indiana government rec sports event that we sponsored, and we got a link. Pretty awesome.
Big news, guys. I created a free PDF that details my method on how I analyze a self-storage facility and figure out what it's worth. Give me a pen, the back of a napkin, and a couple metrics, and I can figure out about what the property is going to be worth to me. If you want to download this PDF, click in the show notes, the first link, and you can give me your email address, and you get a email right away with a 4-page PDF that outlines exactly how I think about underwriting or giving my initial analysis on a self-storage facility. Again, click the link in the show notes, and you're going to get that document for free. This episode of The Sweaty Startup is brought to you by Bold SEO. It is an SEO and link building agency to help your small business rank higher on Google. My brother's business, The Lawn Squad, it was having trouble ranking, and we started a backlink building schedule for 4 months, and Andrew is #1 on Google Maps now in his town where he does lawn care, and it has accelerated his business. He sent me a text last week that said, Nick, I can't believe how much my phone is ringing. It's been an unbelievable thing. So if you want to supercharge your business and get yourself ranked higher in the Google Maps and Google search results, visit boldseo.com and set up a call with one of our reps, and you will learn a lot from the call, even if you don't end up buying link building from us. Again, boldseo.com to rank higher on Google.